Hello, gamers. Hello, noobs. Welcome to the last episode of preseason, in which me and my awesome guest will go over the draft. I chose today's guest because he's been around for a very long time. He's been a tournament captain, and he's a very good player. And the only one person who actually fake cried twice on VC to outdress a spy. That just shows how good he is at social deduction. With me is the one and only Bremen.
Hey, thanks for having me, Pat.
And it's awesome, and we have a really cool thing to do because we will actually tell you guys, like, was the draft good or was it bad? So yes, here you can see that teams rank. So we will actually place all of the teams here. So team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, team 5 and 6. And next to it you see good picks and bad picks. So we will say which of the picks were actually good, and we would do them as well, and which were bad, and just, well, I'm sorry, everyone, but sometimes you just make mistakes.
There were some great learns on this draft, don't worry.
Definitely. So maybe first we should start with captains.
True.
Just from the captain. So who do you think is the best captain, and he should like have the best draft?
I would think that this tournament, I probably would say whoever's in seat six, and specifically Arm, I would want him to have the best draft. Just because I think out of the available players in the pool, there's like seven, eight players that are really, really good. Or like that like top tier essential players that you're able to draft that are going to be playing your special games. And so I think that Arm, he's already a great player. He can have two other great players on his team, and he's really got a solid top end filled out. So
Mm-hmm.
I would expect him in this position to be the best drafter.
Yeah, this is a very good point. Because when you're sixth, well, you don't get to pick Pingu. You don't get to pick like the best players, but you get to pick like two very good players. And like you said, Arm is, well, in my opinion, he's the best player here, or maybe second, like after Maxi. And I fully agree. And he should have the best position to draft a good team. So,
I think
go on.
I actually do think Arm is the best player here, and it's nothing against anybody else's skill. I just think he's the most active, and he knows like how everybody plays, and he's very consistent, and he can play anything. So I do think like out of all available players, I would put him at the top.
Hmm. Yeah, he is very. I agree with everything you've said so far. So maybe let's start going over the picks.
Sure.
So first pick is, of course, it's of course Pingu, and I don't
Yeah.
really have anything to say here. It's just Pingu. It was obvious. Everyone knew that. So let's put Imba Pingu here.
Yeah.
It was a good pick. So the second
Agreed.
pick by Ave Hunter. Well, let's start by saying that it was a very unfortunate miscommunication because Ave actually asked Nixon if Manu is a full player, and Nixon said that he is. Well, I don't blame it on Nixon, but he didn't know that Manu is gonna just play 2 games
Yeah.
and dip.
Oh yeah. This is a blunder for sure, and it's just unfortunate. Manu's a great player, but he's just not going to be active. So it's a big fat L for Av.
No, unfortunately, and we will have to. There's no mercy. This is just a bad pick here. I think picking here referee maybe or mayor or even
Um,
deaf.
yeah, I think, well, I'll talk about Dev later, but I think you could even draft Haka and be okay here. Haka
Oh,
is always like a really, really great player.
and he's
And
also from Poland.
true, bonus points there. Absolutely. He's just, I don't know. I've never seen Haka come back and be rusty. So I would
Hmm.
think that I could just grab him whenever and he would be solid and good to go. And he can play whatever. I don't know if he can play VC games actually. But Haka, I could throw in a special game or special plus
Hmm.
game, and I wouldn't worry. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think that these picks are just up to personal preference. Mare is always like kind of a question mark because sometimes he comes back and just hits the nail on the head, and sometimes I feel like he's a little bit rusty. So it'll be interesting. I haven't seen him play since he came back, but could be good. Could be interesting.
I I feel like I've seen him play maybe 2 games, and
Hmm.
it was just Mayor. I unfortunately didn't really focus on them. I also have the global, the Provant Tourney global sheet that was
Yeah.
made by Nixon, and we can see everything here. I think it's going to be useful here. And here you are, my man, seventh with awesome 61% win ratio. Wow, this is this is actually very good, Bremen.
Yeah, I'm a little bit salty about this, by the way, because for both the resistance win rate and the win rate leaderboard, I could be at the top, but it's like just enough for side to be above me for game count.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I've been very like fortunate in my res games, in tournaments. I've always had really good res.
Also, Mayor is very, very high.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, Mare's a machine. Like, if I put Mare in a game, I'm gonna want Mare to know everybody else in it, right? And that's just
Hmm.
the kind of player Mare is that when he knows how people operate, he can just win probably 8 out of 9 or eight like 9 out of 10 games, honestly. He's that good. But if he doesn't know the people or he's not familiar with them, I think that's where he really flounders. And so that's why I say like Mare is an interesting pick
Hmm.
because I'm always like if I put him in my special games, is he going to know all the players, or will it be this sort of like toss up unknown? Oh God, I just lost
Oh,
6 points.
yeah, I get you. From what I've seen, when I play with Mayor, I haven't played with him for a very long time though. He is, of course, he's a very good spy, and
Oh yeah.
he is. I would say that he isn't the best VT.
I think he can punish his VT a lot, and so you have to be careful when you're playing as a PR and you see Mara's
Hmm.
like a uncolored or you see Mare as a blue or you see Mare as a VT as Percy. You have to be really careful how you go about the game too. And it's not that Mare like can't pick up hints. I think he's a solid VT, honestly. His personal gameplay is questionable. I will say that. but but um I just think that like he's quick to punish bad plays, and so you have to play around that, and you have to be
Hmm.
aware, you have to be giving information, and you've got to be like on the nail. And you can still give bad information, but you have to do it in a way that he knows you're just trying to, get the spies off your trail, and you're trying to get him on board too. So,
I think we will just put him in good picks.
yeah, I
The
agree. That's a good pick.
And refereeing. I feel like for some reason that all of the players that we have to like judge here, they are just all of the first picks will be just probably good. What do you think?
Ref's great. I think Ref is just a really solid player no matter what. I think Ref is like the chillest Merlin I've ever seen play the game, and I always feel like I'm in good hands when I see Ref Merlin. And when I see Ref Spy and I'm Merlin, I'm like, oh god, here's another loss. So I would, I would say this is always a good pick to pick Ref.
I haven't played with him that much, but yeah, when I play with him, he's very solid.
Hmm.
So that is, I think like we will just keep this font and fuck it.
Yeah,
Then we have Anoki, the
yeah. I don't
monkey.
know. Another solid pick. Inoki is always a great player. Sometimes when he comes back and hasn't played for a while, he gets a little bit weird, but I think great pick out of everybody else. Um, I maybe would pick Haka over Inoki, but I know Anjanu knows Inoki more and is friends with Inoki, so I totally get this pick here.
And Noki is a very, very balanced player. Like,
Mm,
it's not like he's a very good spy, like Mayer, and a bad res. Not saying that Mayer is a bad res, it's just like, he is a very good spy and okay
mhm.
res. And Noki is just like very, very solid over both all the roles, to be honest. So this is
Yeah,
something that's, and he's consistent.
yeah, totally the kind of player you want in a tournament. Someone who you can throw into any game and will get you some points.
So we go to the good picks,
Mhm.
definitely. And we have two picks, to be honest. It's Cruton and Dev. Well, he's not picking Haka, he's not picking Complex, but I don't think that he can pick anything else than Cruton and Dev here. Maybe Haka.
I would say I'm gonna disagree. I think Crouton's a good pick. Um, so I would agree with that. I think Dev is a questionable pick, and it's not at all about Dev's skill. I just don't know how active Dev is gonna be. He like is prone to disappear.
Oh yeah,
So
that's a very good point. I talked with him actually, and this is what he told me that he's gonna try, but he's not sure if he's gonna try to be available.
yeah, that's not what I want to hear from my second round pick. Oh man, that gets me. I love Joni, but that happened to me when I drafted Joni once. He just disappeared, and I'm glad he's okay. But it's just bad things happen to your team when it happens, so it's not what I want to see. I would call Dev a bad pick,
I
unironically.
agree. I actually agree. And it has nothing to do with his skill.
Yeah.
It's just like he is probably not gonna be playing that much, which is why he would be a bad pick over Haka. And I think this is only over Haka.
You could even take Complex over Dev here. Complex, I think, even though Complex disappears, I think Complex is a solid player and will always show up when you need. And honestly, you can take Bum too. I would also consider taking Bum. I think
Hmm.
like solid player, nothing too outstanding, but nothing horrible. And I think Bum is somebody who could just throw in a game and get some points. And if I would ask Bum to do something, I know Bum would do it.
Oh
So
yeah, that's a very good
Bum's
thing.
very reliable.
Yeah, I like Bumfuzzle a lot here, but there's one thing that I am a little bit worried about with Bumfuzzle. I don't know if he's that consistent.
I think, well, that's a fair point, but on the question of reliability, Bum would absolutely show up every time. And so
That's
I would
definitely
take
true.
I would want someone who shows up.
It's funny how we got to like availability
Yeah,
only.
it's probably what a lot of bad picks will be, availability.
Yeah, true. All right, so then we see complex for Ingenue also over Haka, but I think it's because Ingenue doesn't know Haka
Yeah,
probably at all.
totally. I think Haka's one of those players that people just forget about because doesn't play, like, is not active, but is very, very good. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame Ingenue for drafting the way she did. I think that Complex is a good pick. And I think, especially because Ingenue is somebody who's going to be like, I want to pick people I know and I want to have fun.
Mm.
So yeah, I could totally see. Makes sense. I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I don't think it's like a blunder.
About complex, well, I really like to play with him. He has a very strong VT. He's like one of the like most crazy games I've seen. It was when he was a VT picking some clean out of nowhere. So this guy is very good, but I feel a little bit wary of players who don't really play and just come back for tourney.
Yeah, totally. Like, we can honestly, maybe it's better to put like a third category and do a I don't know.
Okay, question mark. The AFK picks.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, please move Manu and Dev to AFK picks.
Man,
Oh, hey.
the bad picks is gonna be a very special category now. And complex. Complex here, is he gonna be well, maybe we can change bad picks category to something like hmm,
Outside the box picks.
outside the box picture. And it is kind of outside the box.
Yeah,
So we can leave it like this.
nice.
And I feel like complex perhaps would be here. What
Yeah, I
what do you
agree.
think?
I agree.
That's awesome. complex.
Also, I put Crouton in good picks before you
Oh
forget.
yes, 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 yes. We forgot about you, Cruton. We are sorry. But I think about Cruton, we just all we have to say is he's decent. He was picked in a good place, and he shows up for games. This is not an AFK pick. He definitely would be picked first or second if it's Team 6 picking. So this is for you,
Yeah,
Cruton. And we have Haka. Oh, man. We already talked so much about him. I think we just put him in good picks and or
agreed.
hmm.
I put him in good picks and move on. Haka's honestly could be a first round pick and still be a good pick.
And we come to Bonfuzzle 28 as second round pick from Thomas.
I think good pick.
I also think this is a good pick. Like, who else could be picked here? This is just, I feel like this would be an optimal pick even.
Hmm.
Just, it's nothing else to say. And we have Rookie as, she was picked very, very early. And she also
Yeah,
doesn't play that much. So what do you think?
I think that she's a good player. I think this is definitely an outside the box pick, and like I think that it's a good spot for her to go. I think this is the earliest she's ever gone, and I think she pretty much deserves it. I just like for me personally in this spot, I would probably pick you or my hero, um, just because I'm like more familiar with your gameplay, and
Mm,
have played with both of you more. But definitely a good spot for her to go. I don't think Av would get her next turn.
mm,
Actually, maybe he would. I think Medusa would still pick Z and you, but I think that this is fair to pick her now or the next round because she'll go eventually, in the whatever
mm-hmm.
third or fourth round. So I think if he wants to pick her, now would be the time.
This is something that was very interesting to me because, well, I haven't played that much with Rookie. I'll give it. But, well, I feel like there could be some better picks here. And I feel like captains kind of slept on players like Salty Potato and
You know,
Starbird.
that is actually a very, very good point with Salty Potato. I think you're right on Salty Potato going here. Um, like I would straight up take Salty Potato here. If I was in the spot, I saw the remaining players, and if Salty Potato wouldn't have been available, I would have probably taken my hero or you or Starbird. It just depends on like how I was feeling that day, I guess. But I think like and we'll talk about Salty later, so I'm not really gonna blah 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 blah. But I would agree that like I'm surprised Salty Potato isn't going here. I don't like blame Av for picking up Rookie now or next round because I don't think he'll get her after that.
And we come to Medusa's double pick, and it's a Z123, and it's me. Of course, good pick on me.
Absolutely. Let's just write it down right now. Don't
Oops.
need to question that.
Which,
Z123 is like the most out of the box pick here I could have imagined,
yeah,
and I
it really
totally
surprised
understand
me.
it.
I
Like,
he would be picked. Like Medusa wouldn't get another chance to pick him though,
mhm.
because we have like 10 people here that would be picked. So
Yeah, honestly, I think he could still get Z123. I think that these other players would go before, because people sleep on Z, 123, even though he's honestly a solid player. But I
he
totally
is.
get like what's going on here. But totally like when I first saw it on the draft, I was like, huh? Like I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah, I would also be surprised. I mean, I really like Z is very, very solid, especially recently. And I know that this guy treats tournament very, very seriously. And also, we are talking about Medusa. And Medusa is, of course, gonna pick people from the CTC movement. So we can't even give possibility of Salty going here. Like, like, even if Manu was free, he wouldn't be picked here.
Yeah.
And like Salty and Manu. Who else are the cult members? JSM, of course. Armter,
Yeah.
maybe. So yes, this is what he would pick, and but C1 to 3 is definitely outside the box.
Hmm.
Do you agree? I mean, I put it
I
already here.
absolutely agree.
Okay, awesome. I think, like you said, it's the most out of the box. So. And next we have my hero, and here I have to be honest. I don't think I've played with my hero the last 2 years, so I have no clue.
Um, Solid spy gameplay sometimes doesn't understand PRs, and I think his VT gameplay is probably the most lacking. But honestly, like great spy, usually a good Percy, um, okay Merlin, VT kind of flounders in games, but is like a traditional old school res player. So yeah, I think this is a fair spot for him to go. And honestly, if you wanted looking at rookie and Manu and Av, this is a good player to send into your special games. He's gonna know a lot of those players anyway. He's played with
Mm-hmm.
them before, and he's gonna perform at least decently well. Hope he rolls a spy, gets you some good points. If he doesn't, it's whatever. Probably will do fine on PR. BT might be a sussy game, but
All right, I'll believe you on this. The one game that I've seen of my hero is that he was very tilted, so I of course will not judge him of that. But still, why isn't Salty Potato picked here? Question
agreed.
mark.
Agreed.
So, what do you think? Where would you place this pick?
I put good picks, even though Salty Potato probably is objectively better of a pick here. Still a good pick.
And next we have My Hero Wangle Bangle, like it was said during the draft. Wangle
Yeah.
Bangle. And I feel like this pick isn't really because of skill.
Yeah.
He's just he's just scared that she's gonna get picked. But
Yeah.
I really think that Wangle Bangle would be a good tournament player because
She is.
she really chats a lot. And sometimes it can be her demise. And I think in tournament where she actually thinks like a lot. I'm not saying that she doesn't think, but like in tournaments you have this special mode of
Hmm.
focus. And with her usual attitude, this would be just perfect.
Oh yeah, and she's probably getting like thrown in a VC game, or she's getting thrown in a lot of VC games because she used to play 10p all the time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she is familiar with those people. I think another one. Do we have another like 10p that's signed up for this?
JSM, it would be JSM.
She's played with JSM before. Um,
PTV
if I'm
maybe?
looking at PCB, but they're the same team. Um, so I would consider. I think she's played with Wrath before. At least she's familiar with Wrath. She knows Slog maybe, and that's probably their VC player. Um, Al's VC player is going to be like Goofy or Ant. And I think she would be fine in an Ant game. And for your team, the VC player, I'm not
Definitely
totally
Pingu.
sure. Well, you're not going to want to. Here's the thing, right? Is that we need to talk about the scoring system in this to really consider these drafts and how well these teams are doing, right? Which is, by the way, I did this
Mm-hmm.
math while before because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do some math quick on this, so I knew what was going on. And there's 6 VC games, and they're worth 24 points, and they're um honestly, it's quite a bit of points, and you have one player you can have play 4 of them, and one player you can have play 2 of them, or
Wait,
everybody can pick up one. But
wait, wait, wait,
like,
wait, 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 wait a second, Bremen. We are not
sorry.
gonna have 6 VC games because this is we just set the games like 30 minutes ago. The tournament organizers, and I am pretty sure that we have decided on 4 VC games and 1 VC special.
Okay. Well, then I think that okay, I'm assuming it doesn't change the total points of the tournament. Um,
We will have 10 special games. I will actually put it here, copy from the.
I went to the rules and clicked on it,
Never mind.
but
I cannot copy paste. But yes, this is gonna be what it is: 10 special games, 2 special plus, 6 duo, 3 bullet, 4 VC, 1 VC plus, and 13 to 16 ranked games.
Okay. Then that changes it a little bit. But I think still you're gonna be sending probably one player to most of your VC games, right? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
you want to send your most solid player to four of them and give them one regular game, and then you just throw whoever else for the last VC game.
Yeah,
Um,
oh, I think maybe we can talk about this after we go
yeah,
over
yeah,
the
sorry.
picks. So where
Totally.
were we?
I know you're right.
So Bangle, is she a good pick or is she outside the box? It really depends.
Yeah. I think I think you can put her in either. I can see an argument for her being a good pick if you're considering VC, and I can see her outside the box
Hmm.
otherwise. So
Exactly,
I'll.
exactly. She's a good pick for VC, and that's given.
Mhm.
But the question is, would people pick her? Like over here, over those people?
I don't think people would pick her out of respect for Tom, but
Probably.
but I don't know.
Yeah, she's a Vangle, good VC, and Vangle non-VC.
Yes, agreed.
And next we have Starbird. Hmm.
Um, I'd say good pick.
So the thing with Starbird is that we all know his Merlin play and how
Mhm.
he plays VT. He really likes to do this narrative of saying everything that happens, and I think it's incredibly good as VT because he just creates so much cover for PRs.
Mhm.
Like the man is very good, but I think like his spy play is just it's not special.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, I think a lot of these players after Starbird and including Starbird have some sort of deficiency with their gameplay that they can work on and really improve.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that Starbird is just, starting like I would say the tip of the average player. Um, whereas like I think any, it's a fine pick. He does a fine job. I think he can improve on Percy. I don't think he's outstanding as a spy, but like I don't think he's terrible.
Hmm. I'm just
So
thinking about different picks here. He's not a
you
Yeah, I
you
think he's
know,
just a good pick here, to be honest.
yeah, I would say like honestly, one pick I'm really surprised about not going here is Oh Baby and continuing all the way through it. Oh Baby is honestly a good player.
Oh yes, I was very surprised that he was picked that late, but
Yes.
we will come to him. So
Hmm.
next is Evie. Evie. I don't really know. Let's check his
I would
record.
say outside the box. Um,
Personal stats. He's here. So he's not really doing that good as spy. How many games does he have? 17. He won 8 of them. So yeah, this is looking really bad, to be honest. Here on
I
the
I wouldn't say
on the
that's bad.
score.
I would not say that's bad. I would say that's average. And honestly, if you're going to be drafting for a tournament, you probably want people, as a rule of thumb, in
Mm-hmm.
your regular games to be better at res win rate because they're more likely to get res in those normal games and they're more likely to make cash. You know, whereas like I
Mm-hmm.
think you want either more consistent players or better spies in your special games because that's where you're going to be making the biggest difference in scores.
Mm-hmm.
So outside the box pick though, for sure.
Yeah, I
I
agree. I agree that he's outside the box. And also, if I just think that if we want to pick a very good player for regular games, it's gonna be Anders. He's like the king of regular games.
or baby or potato. We've said them before. Say it again until we get to them.
We are finally getting to salty potato, and it's like a very
True.
slept on pick.
I
Like,
think can we add another category too
sure.
next to good pick like so we have good outside the box AFK and put one before good picks that's like um
Um, maybe we can
steals or something or I don't know.
slept on picks.
Slept on picks. Yes.
Let's. I'm struggling here. Uh, let's do it like this. Or slept on. And here we will have salty as the first person, and maybe we can put someone here in retrospection, or
Um
maybe not.
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe overdrafted. Fuck it. If we have like a slept on is like underdrafted, what do you think
Yeah.
about
Change AFK to overdrafted.
overdraft? I love this. I fucking love this. Overdraft. And I think, hmm, can we put someone here retrospectively? Or maybe fuck it. We'll just do it like maybe later on. JSM.
Yeah.
JSM. Hmm. This is a hard one because I think that this guy is a good player. He
Mhm.
has like 1770 alt, and I think like he's very consistent, and I think he should be picked earlier. But maybe it's because I know him and perhaps I don't know my hero.
I think this is where he should go.
Really?
I could see him basically anyone from Wangle to this point. I mean, honestly, anyone from Wangle to Anders, I think are pretty much interchangeable. Sans, remove Alti and put her before. But I think these players are all similar level. Eevee can probably go later, but I think that like JSM honestly is probably towards the upper end of these players, and I think he's really coming into Avalon. But this is about where I take him. If I want JSM, I'm grabbing him now.
Definitely, yes. If I would be here, I would instantly pick JSM. But I would
Mhm.
probably pick him over Eevee, or maybe even over my hero.
Yeah, I think the my hero pick is like
Should
I
be
think
salty
it's
potato.
it should be salty potato, truthfully, but like I think the my hero pick comes down to Avc's, himself, Manu. He wants another special player. Let's
Hmm.
throw let's throw in my hero.
Yeah, so I think it's just a good
Yeah,
pick.
agreed.
And then we have Artsy, which I have no idea what to say of because
I
I
would
haven't played with
s-
him.
I'd say outside the box. I think Artsy's a good social deduction player in general.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it just depends on what games he's getting in and who he's playing with. I think Artsy's good at the game. It's just outside the box because it's hard to predict who he's going to be playing with. I would honestly, you know, I would
Yeah, I
probably
agree.
grab Anders over Artsy or Slog over Artsy. Actually, maybe not Slog, but Anders I would.
Or maybe Baby.
Honestly, Baby too. Any
Yeah,
any of these picks, I would take Baby over,
I
and it's
would
nothing
even
against them. It's just Baby.
like I kind of see Scorch and Artsy as the same class of player.
Yeah, I think Scorch is honestly a better player than Artsy. Um, but I haven't like that's just from my own experience, and I haven't seen Scorcha play recently. So,
Oh, also, let's go over like five, six, seven, eight, nine round, just like without the order, because I think that the later we go, the less there is to talk about.
hmm agreed.
So
Why
like,
don't yeah, let's finish out the rest of four, and then
yeah,
you
so
know.
there's Artsy, then there's Slog, who doesn't really play. He had a great break. He came back for the tournament, and he was very good before. He's not consistent.
hmm
But I think well, we have to compare him with like people who are after him because those people are the only choice that this Maxi could have made here. And what do you think about Slog?
I think overdraft, I probably would want to grab him in fifth or sixth round. And it's nothing like against Slog, just inconsistent, and I don't know how he's going to perform. Or, we could throw it in outside the box too. I think that's totally valid. It's just someone that I wouldn't be like, I'm going to grab him because I know I want him playing all of these games. Unless honestly, I consider this too, Maxi's grabbing him for the VC games, in which case
Hmm.
I know he plays a lot of VC. He played a lot of Among Us, he played a lot of other VC games, and he's just usually a very assertive person. And looking at Maxi's team too, that's probably someone I would throw as a good pick for VC,
Hmm.
otherwise outside the box for non-VC.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to put him as overdraft as non-VC.
Yeah, sure. Agreed.
And we have the king of regular games, the most logical man. We
Hmm.
have an Avalon and it's Anders. The
Good
man
pick.
has 7,000 games or more. And I think that if I would want someone to like, I don't know about his availability. It is probably there. I think he's very consistent when he plays with like mediocre, like medium skilled players.
Yeah,
So he would just be like the best pick for regular games, really.
yeah. Absolutely. And honestly, I would even go as far to say he slept on because I think if you want
Oh,
somebody, the first two
yes,
tiers
yes, yes. I agree so much with this one.
are like your special players and the captains are your special players. And now we're getting to the regular players. This is somebody I would grab in the third round if I was like, yes, I want you to play my regular games. I want you to play and he's really honestly pretty dependable. I've had him in a team or two. I can't remember how many. I'm so sorry, Anders. I know you've been on my team before. I don't know how many. And he's always been like, I can do this, I can do that. Great guy, absolutely dependable person.
Yeah, so he is here as king of reg games. And what else can we say? A good pick.
Hmm.
Mystic Squire. Mystic Squire.
Outside the box,
So the
absolutely.
thing about Mystic, yeah, he hasn't played for a very long time here. Like I've seen that he typed in his team chat that he doesn't know his teammates. The only people he knows are like Rookie, My Hero, and probably those people. Well, maybe
Hmm.
Killer. But he doesn't. He said that he doesn't know a lot of people. So yeah, he's gonna be a big question mark. When he played, I think he was a like very good average player.
I would say he's an average player.
Average player. Hmm.
I think out of everybody else available, um, just outside the box, you know.
Baby.
Baby. We'll get to baby. You can
Yes.
put baby and slept on right now, honestly. But
Wait,
but like Mystic Squire is somebody that I would be like, I didn't
wait,
expect
wait.
you to go here, but okay.
Yeah, so here we have Baby definitely slept on. And I think outside the box is Mystic.
Hmm.
Or maybe Overdraft?
I wouldn't
Mm,
necessarily say
yeah.
overdraft, but just because I don't know how it's gonna do.
And we have the last pick that we're gonna go sequentially, and it's Origami Chief and Bubbles. Oh dear. Bubbles,
Uh,
Bubbles, Bubbles.
I know very little about bubbles.
Yeah, me too. I remember that she's good. She was good when she played. Like it was so long ago when I played with her. Oh
I think
dear.
I think she got drafted because I I don't know if I want to say this. No, I'm just kidding. I think that she probably got drafted because Pingu was like pick up Bubbles and they know Bubbles from SH and it would be like yes.
Yeah, I
Totally could
think
see
this
that
is a very good point. Very, very good point. It's probably like 99% because of the VC, the SH, I'm sorry,
happening.
and Pingus influence. But here we could have like so many good players. I think Bezo, he was so slept on. Like, holy fuck. We have Baby. I think
Yeah.
Scorcha is also a very good pick.
Yeah,
Like, so many good people that could go here.
agreed.
And, well, it's either outside the box or overdraft, in my opinion. Even we
I would
have
put it,
Minen. Like,
yeah, and Woa too. I mean, I don't know why people discredit Woa. Woa's a funny player, and I think Woa can be a really good spy. So,
yeah. So I guess maybe outside the box is better because it's a question mark. It's a question mark pick.
yeah, agreed.
Bubbles. And we have Origami Chief. What do you think about him?
I know nothing about origami. I see them playing games. Um, they seem average. Seems like a good pick here, but I don't know much about origami.
I've played a lot of games with him, so I have some opinions. He is a very good assassin. Every single game I've played with him, he was like, shoot Merlin. And when he lost, it was because his assassin was like, no, no, no. You know, the worst moment ever as Morgana. But he's a bad Percival. Like, I just have to say it. Because he's outing Percival when MTU has two Merlins, then he just goes, MTU is not clean, fuck it. So,
Okay.
his Percival definitely needs a lot of work, but he's such a good assassin in my opinion. And other than that, he's just okay, I guess.
Yeah. Sounds like a good pick then. I think but there might be better picks, but I don't think it makes him a bad pick here.
Yep. Yeah, I think like we've reached a point where we just have to judge by different standards as of what's a
Yeah,
good pick.
agreed.
Origami. And now we can just like have this freeway.
Yeah,
So
I
we
would.
can, yeah,
I think probably what would be easiest is just to do like the most slept on picks outside of here, and then work our way backwards. I know we talked about baby. Scorch is probably slept on too. I would agree.
I agree. Scorcha slept on like this. It's so true. I would pick Scorcha. Maybe even
Bezo,
over Slog.
yeah, totally.
Bezo is, man, I was so surprised that Bezo went that late. Like, Bezo could be like easily here.
Mm-hmm.
Easily here. Maybe even over Artsy? Well, I don't know. If Artsy was, he wasn't picked for VC. He was played just because.
Yeah.
Just to play normal games. So yes, Bezo has been incredibly slept on. Like, I love to
Um,
play with Bezo. He has, like, you talked with him, of course. You taught him
yeah.
how to chat.
Well, he's working on it. There are things he needs to improve, but he's working on it, and I'm glad he listened to me. I'm glad he at least like considered to listen. That's all I ask.
Yeah, so Bezo, if you're listening, then go Bezo.
Go Betzel. Thank you so much for listening.
We
I
appreciate.
think oh sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, go on, go on.
Another person who's really slept on is the door fighter.
The Dwarf Fighter. Oh.
Bianca, she did team comps,
Mm-hmm.
deduction team comps, and she played in a tournament before. And I've seen her play, um, and surprisingly solid gameplay for as little games that she has. I think she actually like can be a really good player. I don't know how many games she has, but like I would consider taking her over some of the picks before her in the seventh round. Um, and I think she is somebody that I could like throw in 3 games, get 3 wins. Um,
Mm.
it's definitely not somebody I'm like go nuts on my special games, but somebody I can put in my regular, honestly, bullet games probably would suit her a lot, and she could farm them.
Well, I'm just looking, where could she be picked? Because we are probably looking at round 7.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe over Lamarcus, but Lamarcus is like also learning the game. So right now it's a hard situation because one, I don't really know Bianca. I believe you that she's experienced with social deduction.
Hmm.
But where could we put her? Like
I
Lamarcus
would
is also very skilled at social deduction games.
I would consider taking over Lamarcus. honestly.
Hmm.
Um, and it's not like I think LaMarcus just gets too much SH in his head. Like he still treats this game like SH when I see him play. Um, and the concept of like PRs is sometimes lost, and
Hmm.
saving Merlin or shooting Merlin gets lost. And I think Bianca has a better understanding of that. It's just like somebody that I was like, oh hey, I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised because people don't really know her. So
Yeah, I actually, but also I have to tell you something that Dwarf Fighter was actually traded for Torque, so she was picked over here. She was picked as the last person.
that's kind of a smurf. Not gonna lie. I would 100% take her before that pick.
So yeah, I will agree with you. Okay, because I don't really know Bianca, so I will just trust.
I think she's on the look at the sheet, the global sheet. I think she's on it. And I think she's been winning games. Maybe she hasn't. Maybe
The
she sucks
Dwarf
and I don't know.
Fighter. Maybe you're just sheep. the the Dwarf Fighter. Maybe she was under a different name. Maybe just Dwarf Fighter.
Maybe she just played during deduction team comps and that's where I remember it. That's probably it.
Maybe Bianca. Bianca the Dwarf Fighter. He played 4 games and won 3 of them.
What tournament?
This tournament preview, no, 2 tournaments ago, with Vola Espus.
Look on let's look once on the roll teams.
Roll teams?
On the it's
Oh,
like the
roles
sheet
and teams. Okay, okay.
and just do Bianca the Dwarf Fighter. Control F.
So it was right. He was here.
Who's she playing with?
He was Percy.
She I mean she's playing regular games. So wait, that's a duo game. That's what is A? Anonymous? Maybe?
Yes, yes, it would be anonymous. So she played duo, duo again. Then she played regular game and regular game.
Yeah, and she's winning. So she at least won a regular game on her own, and it was against Anders and Llama and Kibas and Evie.
Hmm.
And she played it with Mello
Mellow.
too. So and no, like I love Mello. Um, not the strongest Avalon player.
Yeah, I
So
agree here. He has some things to work on in Avalon for sure. Very good SH player, like I said.
oh yeah. So definitely somebody who can get some wins.
Another slept on person, I think. Well, the things with Meme and Secret Vault, they will go into AFK, but we we changed the overdraft to the Meme. Why? Because Meme will play only 2 games. Insane about Secret Vault.
You can you can put Wrath in here too.
Raf, you think he was overdrafted?
Oh no, AFK. Well, it's not really AFK anymore. Um, but Wrath has AFK'd on me before in tournaments, so
Okay, so
I'm always questioning if he's gonna play. If Wrath, I think you're a fine player. I question you as a person.
I feel like this round is also out of a lot of good people. So like
Mhm.
Ant Killer is definitely a good pick, but I just can't be arsed to like to type everyone here into good picks.
Yeah, I don't think
Like
we need to do that
Healer
anymore.
would be a good pick, but maybe, well, of course, slept on people have their own different category. Scorcha Jep is also very good during tournaments. Like this guy, he got the best VT play, I think. He was a dark horse, I think. So why is he going that late? Is my question.
People just don't think about him.
I think he was slept on. Really, he could be picked. Hmm. Hmm. Where could he be picked? Maybe he wasn't slept on. Really. Maybe over Zack on crack.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jep, we got you. We got you as a slept
True.
on. Secret Jep. We have Bezo. Who else could be slept on? Hmm.
I don't really see anybody else. I think everybody else is kind of I mean these last ones, it's not whatever, but these are the sorts of picks that you're just going to be picking people you know, people that you're familiar with. I'm
Mm-hmm.
surprised Rose went that late. I would put Rose and Slipped on not because of skill, but because of how popular she is. Like, I was very surprised she's going then.
Sure, sure.
Too popular.
Rose. So, okay, I think we can maybe wrap up the going over the picks and go
Agree.
into ranking teams and trying to find who are the VC players on each team.
Okay.
So the team number one, my team. Well, I don't really want to play VC games, so here's that. I think that Pingu is definitely possible. So I will mark them using some color.
Yeah, if you want to like finagle your players a little bit, maybe. But I would want Pingu in my special plus game, and I want Pingu in my special games. He's
Mm,
he's he's making me big money, okay? And this is the player I'm like, yes, you could maybe throw in Chork,
yes,
um,
yes, yes, Shark. I agree.
or honestly Rose too.
Rose good.
Rose can do it, or Z could maybe do it.
I don't know about Z, to be honest. I've never heard him talk, but maybe he would go. So yes, uh, those are potential players. I don't think anyone else. Maybe
Yeah,
Bubbles. Maybe Bubbles. I
I
think.
was gonna say maybe Bubbles. I think you have a lot of options, and you could probably do it in a way that each player plays one, which honestly would maybe suit it more if you don't have any like particular standout VC player.
Hmm. Now, what about Team Two? Ave Hunter,
Um,
for sure.
I think Av's gonna have to play the specials. I would see Ant or Geo playing
Geo. I love this idea.
um honestly even
Lamarcus, man.
oh yeah, totally. I don't know why I didn't think about or Killer even.
Killer.
I played a VC game with Killer before, so he can do it.
All right. And yes, we
Uh,
go about like who can do it.
yes. Um,
Goofy also. Oh, we should change this because it's like.
just change it to Goofy, honestly. Goofy.
I want
No, no,
to just wait a second. I have a good idea. Wait, this
no.
shouldn't be like this. Uh, we'll figure something out. Ah,
Oh,
okay, I'm getting bullied here. Whatever.
Goofy definitely. So I've also
Chicken.
got a lot of options. So for team three, I don't see anybody else though for team two. Do you see anyone?
No, no, I don't think so. Maybe Nymph, but we don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Team 3, Vangle
I-
Bangle. Holy
yeah.
moly.
You could even send in Anders, PTB, or
Oh,
Scorcha.
PTB for sure.
I played many VC games
Yeah,
with
and
Scorcha.
there's also a good play. Yes, yes, I agree. Who else? Not Baby.
No,
I don't know if Llama person.
I don't think so.
Banfuzzle, maybe. Same about them. They could like. I just don't see them playing VC games. Maybe
Nah,
Tom? It's just doesn't sit well with me.
I don't think they'll. I think those are their special game players anyway. They won't send them to VC games unless it's like a VC plus.
And we have Team 4. Definitely
Um,
Jep.
definitely Slog too.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I mean even Maxi could honestly play it.
I
Would they
agree.
want to do that? I don't know.
And for sure, Starboard. I've played a
Yeah,
lot of VC games with him. Who else? Well, probably no one else.
I don't think so.
So, team number 5, Engineer. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Inoki?
Comp can
Uh,
play it. I think Inoki can play it too, but it might be
can, yeah,
weird.
but it's very, very unlikely, and I don't think it's gonna be the case. Complex,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Wrath,
Graph, yes, also 100.
Ezo probably.
About Bezo, have he
I could
played
see.
VC games?
Um, I mean, he's been in VC before. He's willing to talk. I'm sure he could play it probably.
Alright. I think he has a chance. Meeman.
Mime
Meeman.
could too.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Artsy. Yeah, or
RC
not.
can. RC
I think he
can.
can.
RC just like I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. It's a mystery. Ooh.
Do you see anyone else?
I don't see. Well, section maybe.
Oh, Saxon. Yes. A lot of VC players here. Oh my god.
Or,
And then we have team number 6. And I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Maniac and Obey Mr. Warless.
same.
But Nixon could, I think he could play.
Maybe Boa probably could. JS
Definitely, 100% Vaughn.
Alti can.
Yes, 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 I agree. Crouton, 100%. And Armter too.
Recon can.
Arm,
They
Armter
can.
as well. Like,
Dev can.
Defcan?
But
Hmm.
yeah,
You think so?
Dev plays VC. Yeah, he plays
Mhm.
VC.
And I don't know with Cat Fat. It's Shiro, right?
Oh, Zero can. Oh my gosh. Yes.
A lot of, well, this team
Yeah.
actually has the most VC players.
Whether or not they're good at it, no comment. But they can.
Yes, and that was the idea. So now maybe let's go to the final part of our ranking, and let's predict who's gonna win. So the teams ranked.
So I actually do want to ask the question then, what are the games?
The
Because I
games.
the games, like what amount of games are being played? Like how
So
many VC, how many bullet?
so there's gonna be 3 bullets, 4 VCs, 1 VC plus, 10 specials, 2 specials plus.
Okay, so sorry. So 4 VC, 1 VC special plus, 3 bullet. How many duo?
Duo, it's 6.
6 just regular duo, no duo plus.
No duo plus.
And then 16 regular?
So it's, let me see, 16, 14 to 16. We are not sure yet.
We'll just do 16 for now.
Sure.
Okay. And I think I know how these are scored. VC is 4. Sorry, I need to do some calculations here.
Hmm.
Because I think it's when you like consider the when you consider tournaments, I think it's really important to consider how much the games are worth, right?
Hmm. To be honest, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I am gonna go just by feeling.
Okay. I don't know. I think it's just like you have to think though, because regular games are literally worth half as much as special plus games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and even though there's only 2 special plus games, there's 10 special games. And so there's what, 62 points that are available for special and special plus, whereas for regular, there's only 48 points. So if you drafted the perfect team that won all the regulars, and then somebody else drafted the perfect team that wins all the specials, the special team's going to win out because they're going to have 62 points and you're going to have 48 points to
Oh.
start. So, like, I think that's why if you have like a bunch of regular players and they're really strong at regular games and you don't have anybody that's really good on special, you're probably not gonna, get the most amount of points.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's
That's
why that's why
actually
I wanted to
good.
ask that.
That's actually a good point.
And I think it's really only relevant for those. I think for the VC games is also relevant because that's still is quite a bit of points. It's like 16 plus the 5, so it'd be 21 points for VC games. So if you have a strong VC team, you can secure like 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 games. You're getting anywhere from 16 to 21 points from that, you know, or
Mm-hmm.
12 to 16 points, which can be the amount you need to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wanted to ask the question. But
All right, so since we have the map done live, and
sorry.
it's very good, and it's actually very good, it's a fresh view that I would definitely not have, then we can do this in a more educated way. So, according to the map rules, who would you put as the best team?
I would probably put Team 4 as the best team, or potentially Team 6.
You know, I would agree on Team 4. This was the first team that appeared in my head when I was thinking about the best team. It just has a very good captain, a lot of very good players like Ref and Hack, like those three, and then everyone else is just solid. They don't have bad players, like maybe Olong, but it was a RNG pick. So, is there any team that can compare to them?
I think in teams of like really solid drafts on paper and looking at their like top end and their VC games, which are really going to shine out. Because I think ultimately every team has solid regular players they can throw in the regular games. Um, for the most part, I would say that teams 3 and 6 probably are like the next closest to Team 4. I think that they have solid top ends. I think that they have solid VC options. I think that they have, reasonable regular players, duo players, bullet players, what have you.
Yeah, I
Um,
fully agree. I would probably put Team 6 as the second best team. It's just like their first four picks are just so good.
mhm.
Just
I
so
think
good.
I think I would disagree. I probably would put Tom's team above Team 6 in the fact that I can see a more solid VC lineup. I think JSM is like their best VC player in Team 6, without a doubt. But I think that if
Mm-hmm.
you can like spread it out a bit more, and you can play Wangle and Scorcha, and honestly even PTB, you've got like a better chance than Team 6. I also think they're throwing in Anders in a bunch of the games. Now he's probably going to be up against Salty Potato, which, you know, I think that Salty Potato can outperform Anders in these regular games. But I also think that they have Baby on Team 3, and I think that with Llama 2 and their other options, because they can still throw in Scorcha and Wangle in those
Mm-hmm.
regular games, and Bum even too, when comparing to like Dev, who we don't know how active he's going to be, Alti, who's great, JSM, who's great, Boa, who's, good, and Shiro, who's good. I think that Team 3 would honestly come out on top.
You know, I
And it's
think
just
that
like
yeah, go on.
I think Team Three's core of their regular combined with their VC potential, along with the fact that their special players on top are really solid too. I think that they can give a good shot for this tournament win, honestly. Um, but it all like anything can happen. Somebody might get done fucked. I don't think any team is like immediately disqualified.
So I would agree that here, definitely Team 3 is looking better than Team 6 here.
Hmm.
I also think that Salty would be a better VC player than Vangle. And well, I don't really know about VC of Anders, but we at VC, I think the best VC players would be those three.
Hmm. I
And
agree.
in Team 6, well, Arthur has actually played an insanely good VC game last tournament. Like, it was Meme and Percival, and if he's watching this, he definitely remembers that game.
Yeah.
I, I don't know about Def and Cruton on VC, but I know that Arm and
That's
Salty,
pretty
they
good.
are very, very good on VC.
and I wouldn't, don't discount JSM here either. He's a great VC player. Um, it's just like when you take away arm from one of your special plus games, because
Mm,
you have to think like who are my big earners? These special and special plus games, there were 62 points. That's the most out of any type of game in a tournament.
mm-hmm,
And so if you're playing players who in those games are the most likely to win in the tournament, you're gonna get the most amount of points from the highest point category, right?
mm-hmm.
And if you get more points in those, it's going to be easier to shore up the rest and win. Because like on average, teams that are going to score like I think with this format, what's the total
It's
amount of
gonna be
points?
48 games.
It's
Or
like a
42,
hundred
I'm
and
sorry.
no, you're fine. It's like 161 points are total this tournament, right? And like the average res player's win rate is like it's about 47%. I'm eyeballing it.
48,
Um,
exactly.
it's
Wait,
48,
Res? It's 44 for Res.
but I mean like overall for games.
Yeah, it's 44.
But then it's like slightly higher for spy, and it evens out to like the average player's win rate is like 48%.
Yes, exactly. So it's 44 for Res and 56 for Spy.
Which if you take 48% of the total point total, 161, so we assume teams are playing average, we should expect them to get about like 77 points. I'll give it a slight bigger range, so I'll say like anywhere between 73 to 81 points is an average score, okay,
Mm-hmm.
for a tournament team. Now, let's say you're playing a tournament team with really good special players and they win all but one special game. So, and let's say it, so out of 62 points, let's say they get like 57, which is kind of insane, but it could happen. Like Maxi goes 6 and 6, 6 for 6 every single tournament, I feel like you can have a player have a really good tournament, and if they do that and they get you 36 points and the other one gets you 30, you're already almost to an average team score. And because you have these solid mid players who are going to get you, anywhere from 6 to 9 points after that, you're like guaranteeing a win, honestly, because it is a numbers game. And so that's why I really do think that um, it depends on how Merit plays, honestly, for Team 3. And it depends on how Crouton and Dev, like how active Dev is and how well Crouton plays for Team 6.
And Arthur, because Arthur lost 2 tournaments, he didn't have the best record.
Yeah,
So, well, okay, I can actually see because Tom is very competitive. He's gonna try hard. And I think he's like the highest here. No, he's very high. Oh, actually, Arm is very, very high. But what
yeah,
was his last 2 tournaments? Am I even correct? 4-2 and 6-2. So yeah,
yeah.
when he was my vice captain, he didn't really perform. But other
That's
than
like
that, he's very good.
it could just be 2 bad runs. There's always a chance for anybody to win. There's always a chance for something weird to happen. Um, but it's just the case of like Arm usually performs well, so I'm going to expect him to continue performing well. Yes, he did not do the greatest in the last 2 tournaments, but one he only played 2 games, or he only played 4 games, and the other one he just didn't do well when you were his captain. So I guess that's your fault. No. um
Sorry,
like
Arm.
yeah. I would put Team 3 above Team 6 in that I just think that it comes down to how Mare will play, and I expect Mare to do well in these special games. And if he doesn't, then Team 3 probably will flounder and it kind of falls apart, you know? So that's if I had to like rank all of them together, I would say Team 4 and then Team 3, then Team 6.
Team 4 first. But
Yeah.
I really think that Team 6 is gonna perform better than Team 3. They
They
just have
totally
very,
could.
very good play. They are so consistent. Like Death was a champion. Arm is better than Tom. Crouton, I don't know if he's better than May. Probably not. And then Salt is better than Vangle Bangle on VC. JSM, I think he has more range where he can be put than Anders. Well, maybe we can just put them
Maybe.
like Team 3, 6, like
Let's
like the
put them in the
same.
same spot.
Yeah, like second and third place. We both agreed it. Okay, let me just set
Ooh.
the font. Zero and six. Flash. And now we are getting to the fourth and fifth place. And maybe we can go like 1, 2, 3. I don't know how do people type it. Maybe like this.
Yeah.
And fourth. So we are left with team 1, team 2, team 5. Yes, we have those teams left.
You know, I think that
Team
it,
5 or team 1?
I would put them in the same. I would do the same for 4 and 5 for team 1 and 5. Because I think that team 1's strategy is gonna really boil down to what Z123 does and how he plays. Because if he plays well, it really could put you guys in a good position to win the tournament, honestly. Um,
And
but
also, let's not forget about Pingu, because so far
yeah,
he has a terrible, terrible tournament record. It's 40% win rate. It is 40% win
it's so
rate.
funny, actually.
Uh,
Pingu is like unironically one of the best players in all social deduction games. Always just really fantastic. And it's just funny to see. Um,
yeah.
it really is.
So he is a very big question mark for Team 1. But if he performs, and if Z123 performs, then oh my god. Even first
Yeah.
place.
Oh yeah. Then I mean, like you and Dusa and Bubbles and Origami honestly can all really do some good things. Illumi can be good too. Torque and Rose can pull out some wins. The Hats is the Hats. He's anything can happen, you know?
Anything can happen, definitely. I'm also curious because Team 5 is. I would never draft a team like this. Which is not
It's just
saying that it's
it's
bad. It's just like it just shows that engineers knows completely different people. I mean,
mhm. I mean, a lot of these people she's just drafting because she knows and she's familiar with them and she's okay with where she's drafting them at. And I don't think anything is like a blunder, you know?
mhm.
Um, I mean, I did make the joke about Wrath AFKing, but I truly do not believe Wrath is a blunder here, in terms of position. Um, and honestly, picking up Bianca here too, she can really do some good things. And I think these are just like people that Ingenue knows and wants to play with. I think that like their special games, and Noki will perform well. Um, the other player in it, Comp or Ingenue, can probably perform okay. But then they have really solid like mid-tier players that they can put in these regular games and still make a good chunk of change. And they have really solid VC players that they can make a good chunk of change from.
Mhm. I
So I don't think that like
mhm.
I don't think that they'll perform poorly. I just don't necessarily see their road to victory without winning those special games. And if they do that, then they have a really good chance at winning this still. You know? I don't
Mhm.
think any team is like in a very bad spot from draft other than team 2. I love you, Av. I'm sorry. But it happens, you know. It was just a miscommunication and it sucks, but like it happens.
It is what it is. Also about Team 5, I feel like this team doesn't really have a lot of spot for surprise. It's like I feel like those players will just perform at their level and that Team 5 will end at most maybe second place, maybe third, but if things go really well for them, I expect them to be just like medium.
Yeah, I could see them being, you know, this is my team. I think it's going to score between 75, 81, whatever that range I had given. And it's nothing against those players, like because I think that they have some really great players. I just think that like playing up against some really hard players like Pingu and Mare, and I mean any of the first round players are really tough to play
Hmm.
against, and any of the captains are really tough to play against. And um, honestly, when I look at this, I don't think they'll have that much of an issue. I just think that like I don't even know how to say this. Like based upon previous tournaments, I would expect the other higher ends to perform better. And it's
Hmm.
just based on like that. I think that they can do it. I think though that they're gonna really have to come out of the woodwork and really pull something out to make it happen. But I can see them winning still. I can see any team winning.
Mm. Well, Team One. I feel like Team One is the biggest question mark. They have so much room for surprise. Anything can happen. Like, I don't know how Ping will play. We don't know how Medusa will play. Z, well, I don't know myself.
That's true.
Like, I feel like Team One, I wouldn't be surprised if we win or like if we completely get destroyed. I feel like our team is like the most volatile outside of every other team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You know, yeah, so let's put teams 4 and 5. Well, I would put my team. Well, I'll just do it. I'll just put my team, team number
Okay.
number one.
Okay. I'll
because
respect it.
because I believe team 5 goes then team 5 number 5 and team. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
the last I just don't think. Well, the vice captain is pretty much non-existent.
it's
There
it's
were
such a
some
brutal miss.
overdrafts, a lot of slept on picks that weren't really used. Like he didn't draft them when he should.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We are sorry, Ave, but it is what it is.
And I do want to say about, Av's team, I think that his upper end is okay. I think Av's a good player. Um, Manu's obviously a great player. Jams can play in those games too, and she's done well before. And my hero can play in them too. And honestly, even Rookie can step in and play in them. It's just I feel like their regular games are gonna struggle. You know, I think there's gonna be some good plays from those people on the team, but I think that like when it boils down to those regular games, if they roll a bunch of res games, I really think they're gonna struggle to find a path forward. But I think if they find those spy games, which is all up to luck,
Hmm.
they can place well. And honestly, I don't even think like I think that they have a good chance. Not, I shouldn't say that. I think that they have a reasonable chance at winning. I think every team has a reasonable chance at winning. I wouldn't give any team like a less than a 10% chance of winning this tournament, you know?
What's the 100th by 6? I would give them not less than 60%. 16.
Yeah, I mean they would be close to 10, but I don't think they would be under 10. Um or I don't think that they would be under 5 at the bare minimum. And I don't think like if I had to give them like percentage wins of everybody, I would maybe give like Maxi's team like a 1 in 3 chance of winning. I would give Arm and Rat's team like a 1 in 6 chance of winning, and then I would split up the last ninth between the last 3 teams. Anybody can win
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
true. I could see a miracle happen for some teams and like a disaster for the other. That is
yeah, I mean
what. Yep.
it's what it boils down to. And I think it's like you need to be conscious of what gets in your team's head too, because if you have 2 bad days in a row, then your team's just like Omega defeated, they quit, they they tap out, they don't care anymore. You keep playing bad, and so having those long stretches is always really tough. And that's why I think it's so important to have a really solid core of players so that you can get those wins so that nobody's like, man, we lost like 15 games in a row this tournament. This ain't looking too good. It happened to Av once actually. Do you remember that one?
Oh, I'm not sure.
God, let me scroll and find it. It was so funny. I think it was in the third Avalon tourney. Yeah, with Av Hunters. They scored like 100 points less than Maxi's team.
Oh God. Oh man. Okay, let's. I actually want to see this. Roles teams. Is it here even? Yes, the fifth tournament or the third. You mean? Oh
Yeah,
man,
the third. Yeah.
that's
It was like
a big difference.
they lost a shit ton of
A,
games in a row.
a lot of similar players. Wait. Starcrush Meeman, Meeman isn't here. So only Goofy and Ave.
And
And yes, that's a good catch. So free 1/3 of the team. Actually, 3/4, 3/10, because it's 10 people with captain.
yeah,
All right, so
maybe.
I guess we could wrap it up.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Bremen, for being here with me and providing a lot of very cool insights.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was really fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so see you guys during the tournament, and we will see what we will see. Thanks for watching, and see you.